Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. In this one today I'm going to be showing you how you can add a simple weapon to your character inside of Unreal Engine. We're going to be using the third person template, so set that up and then we'll get going. Right, okay, so we're just loading into the editor now and I've just prepared three things for this video. One is a character from Mixamo, it can be any character you want. There is a rifle idle animation and a rifle aiming animation. These really aren't necessary, but to follow along I'd probably just recommend getting a character and then getting a rifle idle animation. We're going to import our character, and as you can see here, it's just this SWAT character from Mixamo. Pretty simple stuff. Just here, as you can see, just like that. We're not actually going to be using this character yet. I will be using it in a later tutorial. That's why I'm importing it now. Here I've just imported the two animations for the rifle aiming and the rifle idle, and the skeleton I selected was the SWAT character that we just imported. Next, we can select both of these by holding shift, click on both of them, retarget them. Just click retarget animations and we're going to select SKM Mani Simple, just like this. We're going to retarget these to the third person default skeleton. Create a new folder, just call it anims, and then we can just export the animations into that folder. As you can see, we have a aiming and we also have a idle rifle animation for our character now. Bear in mind you can do this without the animations, it just looks a little bit better and it's easier to follow. So that's why I've imported these in. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete all the stuff that I imported before, and we're just going to keep the two animations that I've just retargeted, just so stuff doesn't get messy. Okay, so let's go into the third person character folder, blueprints and third person character. I'm just going to swap out the animation blueprint here to ABP Mani, and the mesh also to ABP Mani. I don't really like the way Quinn looks, so I'm just going to do that. Doesn't really make a difference, but yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. Next, I'm actually going to change the animation blueprint to an animation asset, just to position the gun a little bit better. Then I'm just going to search for our idle animation, just like this, and it'll give us this little stance. This is just for the purpose of positioning our weapon. Now, you can either go to Fab and download your own weapon, but I already have one. I have a little FPS folder pack with all animations and weapons and stuff. I'm just going to use my own. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to grab my shotgun and I'm just going to drag it into the content folder here. Just click import, we don't need to select the skeleton, and it'll import our texture and our shotgun mesh. And as you can see, it's quite big, but we'll change this in a minute. So let's just click on the material, because I want to make it look a little bit better. Let's make a chrome one. So I'm just going to press 3 on my keyboard, hook it into base colour, double click here, change it to a grey colour. Okay. Metallic 1, roughness 0, and that'll give us our metallic material. And as you can see, we have like a grey, darky, kind of metallic material. So let's actually add this to our character now. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just going to convert the shotgun to a skeletal mesh before we begin. And wait for this to load, and you can see it's just turned into a skeletal mesh, basically the exact same. But we'll add some animations later in a different video to this, so that's why I'm doing it now. Then we can just click on the skeletal mesh asset for our third person character, which is Manny. Search for hand_R, like this. Right click, and add, no, we need to add a socket, not paste it. So right click, add a socket, and we can change it to whatever we want. But yeah, I'm just going to keep it simple and just keep it to this. So I've just copied that name right now. And then what we can do is drag our skeletal mesh on top of our mesh. So dragging the shotgun on top of the skeletal mesh, which will parent it to our mesh. And as you can see, it is massive. So in the scale, we can click the little padlock, change it to 0.1 for now. And it's going to need to be a lot smaller than this, so 0.01. And then let's go here, click this little folder icon where it says sockets, parent socket, and search for our hand_R socket. This will parent it to our right hand, or wherever the socket is that you've done. So if we go back into the skeletal mesh and click the hand_R socket, we can now position this to make it work properly inside our third person character. So I'm just going to search preview animation, idle, because that's the one we're using. And now we can have a little look around, and we're in this idle animation. Add a preview asset by clicking, well, right clicking, and then add the skeletal mesh. And like we saw before, it is huge, so we can actually, with this selected, go into details. No, not preview, details, and we can change the relative scale here. So I'm going to do 0.01 in all three axis, like that, and then we can actually rotate it so it kind of fits in our hand. I'm just going to pause this animation by dragging to the start and pressing space on the keyboard, and then we can rotate it around and position it correctly. Now, I'm actually going to make it a little bit smaller, so 0.08 should probably do it. Oops. What have I done? 0.008, my bad. Like this, and that should make it look a little bit better. Okay, so we're kind of getting this shape now, and let's just position it into the hand. You don't have to really worry about the the left arm. It's just the right hand that we care about right now, because what we'll do later is we will attach the left hand to the kind of like underside of the shotgun using a fabric node, but we're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to do the basics. So let's just turn off all the scale and rotation and whatever, turn off all the snapping, and let's just rotate this into a general position. For the sake of time, I'm not going to do this perfectly, but like I said before, just position it kind of okay into the right hand. I can actually close out these two tabs now, we don't need these anymore. And I'm just going to change the scale to, wait a minute, no we don't need that, we need to change it to 1. Because we changed it in our socket transform, we can actually just reset it to 1. And that'll give us the exact same as the socket transform. Okay, so now we have a weapon inside of our hands, inside of Unreal Engine. And it is parented to our right hand, so when we run around, and as you can see the animation's a little bit broken now, but don't worry about that. That's because we didn't change it back to the animation blueprint. So let's go to our mesh, use animation blueprint and ABP Mani, and as you can see it is parented to our right hand. So let's click play, and then when we run it'll be retargeted. Sorry, it'll be parented to our right hand. Let's just take it a little step further and actually use the animation we imported before. So I'm going to go here, ABP Mani, open this up, and then locomotion, idle, and we're going to swap out this default idle animation for our rifle idle animation, the one we retargeted earlier. Just like this, drag it in like that, select looping, and hook that into there, and when we compile, it'll be default idle, just like this. And we can run around and it'll still be parented to our hands. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for today. In the next episode, what we could do, if you want to, we can add aiming, we can add shooting, shoot projectiles, we can maybe add leaning, and a first-person camera. Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Check out my Patreon if you want any of the project files, and I will catch you next time. Peace.